Hello all, I am the Holland Phantom, and for today's video we're going to be having a live battle from the 2006 format. On one side, we've got the Blastoise, Lugia, and Steelix deck, as used by Haroki Yano, the Junior Division champion of the 2006 World Championships, going up against the Eeveelutions deck, as used by Jimmy Ballard, the runner-up in the Masters Division, so we'll see which of these two decks can take the victory today. But before we begin, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel and to my Twitter account at Holland_Phantom so you don't miss out on any new Pokemon TCG content. And now with that out of the way, let's get into the battle. And here we go, the battle has started, with both players slipping over their starting Pokemon. On the Lugia side, we've got Lugia EX as the active Pokemon, and on the Eevee side, we've got Pidgey as the active Pokemon. The Eevee side is going first, attaching a water energy to the active Pidgey, and then just attacking with Corner. It does no damage, but now Lugia cannot retreat during their turn. And on the Lugia's first turn, they activate Cilio's Network to search the deck for a Squirtle to put onto the bench, and they also attached a water energy to the active Lugia. It does need a combination of fire, water, and lightning energies to use its attack, so it's going to be needing a couple more turns before it gets there. Okay, turn passes back over to the Eevee side. The player attaches a fire energy to the active Pidgey, and then activates the supporter card Rocket's Admin. It forces both players to shuffle away their hands and draw one card for each of the remaining prizes. So this early in the game, both players draw 6 cards, as no one has taken any prizes yet. And let's see if the Eevee player has any more Pokemon to put down. Okay, there we see another Pidgey and an Eevee coming down. Still no evolutions though. There's the attack. It's going to be a Gust attack, hitting for just 20 damage. And it also activates Lugia's ability, Silver Sparkle. There's a coin flip, but it was Tails, so it did nothing. Otherwise, Pidgey would have gotten one of its energy cards back into the player's hand. And now back over to Lugia's side, there's another Cilio's Network searching the deck for another Pokemon out of the deck. It's going to be a Plusle this time, coming down to the bench. So we might be seeing a Plusle attack this turn. Okay, Lugia's going to be discarding the water energy to pay the retreat cost to promote the Plusle. Followed by the Stadium card, Power Tree. Another player can get back their discarded water energy and then attach it onto the active Plusle. There's the attack. It's going to be Call for Family. Now the player can search their deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon to put onto their bench. So there we see a Pidgey and Onix coming down. So they're getting a lot of their basic Pokemon down, but still no evolutions for either side. Back over to the Eevee side now. Let's see what they can do. A Fire Energy comes down to the benched Eevee. The active Pidgey pays the retreat cost to promote the Eevee now. And now they're going to be using their opponent's Power Tree to get back that discarded Fire Energy, and there's the attack. Call for Family from the Eevee side this time, but Eevee can only search for 1 basic Pokemon instead of 2. So we're going to be seeing a second Eevee coming down to the bench. And still no evolutions. Both players are having a pretty difficult time setting up their boards. Now over to the Lugia side. There's the Rocket's Admin coming down. Once again, shuffling away both players' hands to draw 6 cards apiece. And let's see what the players are going to be getting this time around. It seems that both players have been having pretty dead hands since the beginning of the game. There's a water energy coming down to the bench Lugia EX. And passes the turn, still nothing. Back over to the Eevee side. Eevee gets a Holland energy. And there's a supporter card, Steven's Advice, to draw 1 card for every Pokemon on the opponent's side, so a total of 5 cards are drawn. One of the Pidgey evolves into Pidgeotto, and Eevee evolves into Flareon EX, finally. It activates its ability, Evolutionary Flame, to both burn and confuse the opposing Plusle. And there's the attack. It's going to be Flame Screen, hitting for 30 damage, and also protects Flareon from 20 damage from the opposing Pokemon's attacks. And now in between turns, the player does have to flip a coin to see if Plusle is damaged by the burn, and yes, it is a Tails, so Plusle takes an extra 20 damage. It's down to just 10 HP remaining. And let's see if the Lugia side has any evolutions to play. Okay, they might. There's another Cilio's Network to search the deck for another Pokemon. And it's going to be the Pidgeot. So if the player has a rare candy, they can evolve Pidgey directly into the Pidgeot. Yes, rare candy. With Pidgeot, they now have access to their ability Quick Search to search the deck for 1 card once per turn. It's a really powerful ability in this format. And also, if anybody plays the current format nowadays, this Pidgeot and its ability were reprinted as an EX Pokemon. Okay, the chosen card was going to be a Wartortle to evolve Squirtle. And there's a second water energy coming down to the Lugia. It needs one more energy to be powered up. A second Plusle comes down to the bench. And turn passes once again. The player does have to flip a coin for the burn, so Plusle might be KO'd between turns now. Oh, and yes, they did get a Tails, so Plusle takes another 20 damage. Enough for the KO. Okay, so Eevee has taken the first prize, and they've got the lead in this game. The next Plusle comes into the active spot, but if Flareon gets at least one more energy, it can take the one-hit KO, and there would be 2 prizes in the lead. There's the support for the turn, Professor Elm's training method, to search the deck for any evolution Pokemon to add to the hand, and the one chosen is going to be Pidgeot. And now both players have access to the quick search ability. There it is, activating, searching the deck for any one card. They don't have to reveal it to their opponent. Okay, looks like they picked it up off camera. And the player's going to be evolving their benched Eevee into Espeon EX to activate its ability Devo Flash, de-evolving the Pidgey on the opponent's side Pidgeot, and back into a Pidgey. And then the Power Tree Stadium is replaced by a giant stump, and now both players can only have a maximum of 3 benched Pokemon, so the Onix was discarded from the Lugia side. And there's the attack. Heat Tackle, taking the one-hit KO against Plusle. Flareon does damage itself for 10 damage, but they have taken a second prize. They're off to a pretty good start so far. Okay, on the Lugia side, the player did have a second rare candy to evolve the Pidgey back into Pidgeot. And there's another quick search. This time they're going to be picking up a Blastoise to evolve the Wartortle, and now they finally have access to the Energy Rain ability. And it looks like that's going to be the attachment for the turn. It's going to be Holland's Magneton. It's a special Pokemon. It does count as a double Rainbow Energy by bouncing back one of the already attached energy cards. So with the double Rainbow Energy, Lugia is fully powered up to use Elemental Blast. There's the attack declared. It has to discard all of its energy cards, but it does deal a massive 200 damage, taking the easy one-hit KO against Flareon, and now both sides are tied at 4 prizes remaining apiece. On the Eevee side, Pidgeot comes back into the active spot now. There we see a Holland Energy coming down to the benched Espeon, followed by Celios Network to search the deck for a Pokemon. And it's going to be another Eevee coming down onto the bench. The player still has access to the quick search ability too. There it is activating, and let's see what they're going to be getting for this turn. There's a chosen card. Again, they don't have to reveal it to their opponent. Although it doesn't look like the player can attack this turn, as no Pokemon on their side is powered up. Pidgeot retreats to promote the Pidgey, as they are anticipating a KO coming from the Lugia on the following turn. Yeah, there's the pass of the turn. Back over to the Lugia side. Lugia does need 3 energy, but with Blastoise's ability, they can easily power it up in 1 turn. A Power Tree replaces the giant stump. It activates to get back a discarded water energy, so if the player has a Holland's Magneton or Holland's Electrode in hand, they can power up this Lugia right away. There's an Energy Rain, giving Lugia 2 water energies, and with Pidgeot's ability, they can search out the final card they need for the combo. Oh, but first, there's the Rocket's Admin, forcing both players to shuffle away their hands, but now they get to draw 4 cards apiece, as both sides have taken 2 prizes. There's some new cards being drawn. Let's see if the player got the Magneton or Electrode. It looks like they didn't, but they can still search it out with Pidgeot. Okay, there's a chosen card. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the Holland's Pokemon. And yes, it was another Holland's Magneton, getting back a water energy from Lugia back into the player's hand, so we're going to be seeing another Elemental Blast. All the energy is discarded, taking the one-hit KO against Pidgey, and that is 3 prizes taken by Lugia. They have taken the lead in this game. Pidgeot comes back into the active spot for the Eevee side now. But Espeon just needs 1 more energy card to take the KO against Lugia, as it is weak to Psychic Pokemon. There's a quick search ability, getting a card out of the deck. Let's see what it's going to be. And yeah, so it's a Fire Energy to power up Espeon's first attack. It does hit for 30 damage, times 2 for weakness against Lugia, which is just enough to take the KO. But first, here's another Rocket's Admin. The Lugia side gets to draw 3 cards, while the Eevee side gets to draw 4. Okay, now Pidgeot is going to be retreating to promote the Espeon, and that should be the KO. Putting the Eevee side back in the lead. There's the attack. Snap Tail, hitting for 60 damage and the KO. But first, here's Lugia's Silver Sparkle ability. It does activate. And now the player chooses the Fire Energy from Espeon to put back into the hand. Lugia is KO'd, and Eevee takes 2 more prizes. So now it's 3 prizes to 2, with Eevee in the lead. There's Pidgeot coming back up. The Power Tree is activating to get back the discarded Water Energy into the hand. And now Blastoise activates Energy Rain, attaching 2 Water Energy onto the benched Latias. It takes 20 damage from the ability, and there's a Quick Search. This Latias does have a pretty powerful attack called Shooting Star. If it attacks into an EX Pokemon, it can discard all of its energy cards and hit for 150 damage. Yeah, there's Holland's Electrode. So Latias is fully powered up, as it does need a Fire, Water, and Psychic Energy. So the Electrode does cover the rest of the energy requirements. And we're going to be seeing another one-hit KO this turn. There's the attack, Shooting Star, discarding all the energy from Latias, knocking out Espeon and taking 2 more prizes. So a lot of back and forth going on in this game. Lugia has once again taken the lead, 1 prize remaining to 2. Pidgeot comes back into the active spot now. And it gets a second Water Energy, so it can be fully powered up to use its Clutch attack. And this Latias is weak to colorless Pokemon, so it is going to be getting KO'd by the Pidgeot. But first, Eevee evolves into Vaporeon to activate its ability Evolutionary Swirl, forcing the Lugia player to shuffle away their hand and draw 4 cards, so pretty good for disruption. There we see a Quick Search ability activating. And let's see what they're going to be getting. It's going to be another Eevee coming down onto the bench. And they still have access to the supporter for the turn. But first, there we see a surprise Time Machine, de-evolving the Vaporeon back into its Eevee form, and then evolving it into another Pokemon. Okay, but the player looks like they chose to fail the search. And now they're going to be using Professor Elm's training method to search the deck for another evolution card. It's going to be the Espeon EX. So they're going to be trying to de-evolve either Blastoise or Pidgeot, but they have to wait until next turn because both of these Eevees cannot attack this turn. Okay, and there's the attack. Clutch to take the KO against Latias, and now both sides are tied, 1 prize remaining apiece. Now it's Pidgeot versus Pidgeot. Let's see who's going to win this game. There's Power Treat getting back Water Energy from the discard pile. And there's a Quick Search ability. Let's see what they're going to be getting. Oh, and it's a Lugia EX! We know the player has a Water Energy in hand. If they have the Holland's Electrode or Magneton, they can win this game. Okay, there's the Energy Rain, getting an energy onto Lugia. Do they have the final Pokemon? Yes, they do! Holland's Electrode bounces back the Water Energy, which immediately gets attached with Energy Rain once again. Lugia does take 20 damage from that combo, but it does not matter because it's about to win this game. It switches into the active spot, and there's the final attack, Elemental Blast, to take the KO and the final prize, and there's the handshake! Lugia is your winner! So what did you guys think of that battle? Let me know down in the comments below, and be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share this video to help this channel grow and reach new viewers. Thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, this is the Holland Phantom logging out.